Good afternoon, book lovers of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber and they also read a page from a book of my choice. I am Book Nerd 802, and in this video, I am going to be showing you the books I bought or received in May, and there are many of them, almost an overwhelming amount of books, which I am going to be showing you. Some of these I have already started reading, others I haven't, but I am very much looking forward to doing so. So let me know which one I should read from all of these books in the comment section down below. So the first book I am going to be showing you, there isn't really any particular order to this, by the way. The first book is called The Party by Tessa Hadley. I started reading this one yesterday, and it is written pretty well so far. Nothing mind-blowing, nothing too overwhelming, rather straightforward and simple so far. I don't quite know exactly what the whole point is, but I will probably definitely let you know in a review sometime in the future. And as you can see, I bought this one in hardback, and this is my first time reading anything by this author. The next book I am going to be showing you is this one called Strange Pictures by Uketsu. I've already finished reading more than half of this book. It is very interesting, very thought-provoking. There are so many things going on, and the stories are meant to tie into one another, but I don't fully understand how yet. And the author is also a YouTuber, apparently. Uketsu is this anonymous YouTuber. Nobody really knows his true identity, which is fascinating and adds to how quickly I want to read this book as well, as a matter of fact. So far, I would very highly recommend it. I've shown it to my friends already, and they took an interest in it as well. The next three books are all by the same author. As you very well know, R.F. Kuang, or Kwang, I'm not quite sure, she's going to get another book published very soon called Catabasis, and I told you that I would read all the books she has published by the time the new one comes out, so I went along and bought The Dragon Republic, which is a massive book, by the way, but also very lovely, and The Burning God, which is the final book in this trilogy by the same author, another lovely addition to my collection, in addition to The Poppy War, which I already had before making this video, and I also bought this standalone called Babel. As you very well know, I am reading Yellowface at the moment. I am soon done with that one. So these are the three books which I bought by this author, and I look forward to reading every single one of them. In the next part of the video, I am going to show you two books by Philomena Kunk. As you very well know, I have a fantastic sense of humor, and I also love people who are funny, who are capable of putting smiles on other people's faces, and this woman, Philomena, is one of those people who manages to do so unfailingly. This one is called The World According to Kunk. It's also a hardback um, book, by the way, and I look forward to reading this one quite a lot, seeing what Kunk's perspective on the world is, because I've watched many of her videos, and as I mentioned, she never really fails to make me laugh. She's fantastic, and this one is another book by her, Kunk on Everything. Now, as far as I know, Philomena is just a character, just um, a person she plays. She is not Philomena herself. I don't quite remember what her real name is. In fact, I will look it up very quickly just to satiate my curiosity. Philomena Kunk real name. So that would be Diane Morgan. Okay, good to know. I look forward to reading those books. Next is yet another non-fiction book called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. It is good to mention that many of these I ordered from Waterstones, by the way, and most of them are in pristine condition. Some of them do have damages, unfortunately, But this one is something which I was interested in reading because I find the title to be quite relatable. I've been going through bouts of anxiety myself, and I want to really understand why precisely this is happening. Honestly, the small font gives me anxiety as well, but we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know what it's all about once I'm done with it. Next are two books by an author I've been reading since my childhood, Suzanne Collins. I ordered The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the fourth volume in the Hunger Games series. And this one has a sprayed edge, which is lovely, by the way. Always lovely to have a sprayed edge. This is a special edition, as far as I know. And I do look forward to seeing what happened before the Hunger Games we so very well know and love. And of course, I also went along and bought Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins as well, which is her most recent publication. This woman can do no wrong. Um, Honestly, her ideas, her writing about history in a dystopian way, and her making fun of politics nowadays. It's so mind blowing, so very clever, so subtle even, and nobody shied away from realizing that this is her intention, and this has been her intention all along. All of these books have been a warning, which is why I look forward to reading all of them as well. Next is a book by John Green called Everything is Tuberculosis. Now, this one is a signed copy. I am very happy to show you. Honestly, the signature is rather underwhelming, but at the end of the day, it is a signed copy, so it does hold some value, I suppose. Um, I think this is the first copy by John Green, which I have signed by the author. I've read many books by John Green before. Um, as a matter of fact, I am still reading the Anthropocene Reviewed. I have about 100 pages to go, and I look forward to reading this one because it's relatively short and it's a pretty interesting title. Everything is Tuberculosis, the history and persistence of our deadliest infection. Honestly, this will probably shed some light on how I view the world and disease in general as well. Next is a book which I am not quite sure whether or not is fiction or non-fiction by David Grann. This one is called The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder. Always something which I am interested to read about. I'm not quite sure whether or not pirates have a lot to do with this, um, but it would be interesting if it does. I don't think it will be a disappointment anyway, because anything having to do with the ocean and the danger one finds himself in always fascinates me. Reading about this stuff genuinely is extremely interesting to me. Next are two books by the same author. This one is called Bob Mortimer, I think, or Bob Mortimer, maybe. Do correct me in the comment section. Well, to be fair, I showed you the first book I received by Bob Mortimer in my April book haul. So this is the other one I received called the Satsuma Complex. Honestly, just wanted to give this author a go. I never read anything by him before, and many people have been praising him, so I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. Next is a book by Millie Bobby Brown called 19 Steps. Now, this book is written by the 11 character from Stranger Things, and it's apparently a romance book, which isn't the sort of genre that I usually enjoy reading, not the sort of thing that's for me. But since it's written by 11 from Stranger Things, I was, of course, interested in purchasing it and allowing for it to form part of my collection because I do love Millie Bobby Brown. I think she's a great actress, a great human being as well, and I look forward to reading what she had to say, unless it is ghost written, but I don't think there's a way of knowing anyway. Next is this book called The Convenience Store by the Sea by Sonoko Machida. As you very well know, I love reading books translated from the Japanese, regardless what they might be about. I tend to read so many of these, honestly, all the time, and this is one which caught my attention very recently, and I couldn't just see it on Waterstones and not have a have it in my collection. because I do have an extensive collection of um, Japanese novels translated into English by several writers. Next is a book which I have been speaking about very frequently on the channel. Some of my most viral videos on the Book Nerd 0802 channel um, owe their virality to this book, Until the Shadows Lengthen by Hannah Clayton. This one is an independent author, and honestly, this book is meant to blow my mind. Um, Basically, she loses track of how long she's been in prison, I think, as far as I know. And at first, she thinks she's all alone. Then she quickly realizes that that is no longer the case, and the story develops from there. So yeah, I am very much looking forward to reading this as well. Um, the title is rather haunting as well. Not sure if you can see it clearly, but it's quite frightening if I'm being honest, which adds to my interest and the reason why I want to read it. Next is Penguin Lost by Andrei Kurkov. Death and the Penguin, which I read a few months ago, was one of my favorite books of all time, quickly became one of my favorites, and one of the books I enjoyed reading the most. You do know that I am a huge fan of penguins, by the way, and this is its sequel. Um, I didn't shy away from purchasing this, and I will be reading it soon as well. I think Andrei Kurkov is a good author. Um, and as far as I know, this one, yeah, it is translated from the Russian by George Bird, much like the first one. Next is Murakami's newest novel called The City and Its Uncertain Walls. Now, this one is a huge book, by the way, it's completely massive, but it is lovely. Now, there was a special edition for this one as well. The only reason as to why I shied away from buying that one was because it was way too expensive, and this one was translated to English from the Japanese by Philip Gabriel, one of Murakami's um, main translators. Next is a book in Maltese by Liana Lul called Bain Ilkmim. This one I bought from Agenda when I went to Gozo with my friends. I started reading it a few weeks ago. Not particularly blown away so far, but I'll continue reading it and I'll let you know in a review sometime in the future. And I discovered, by the way, that Irvine Welsh is a guy, not a woman writer, since in my last video where I made a book haul, I think I told you that Irvine Welsh is a woman. It was pointed out to me that he's a male author, just to clarify there. Next, I have three books by the same author called Grady Hendrix. I read Horror Store by this guy. My uncle um, lent this to me a few months ago, years maybe, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. And I went ahead and bought the Final Girl support group, How to Sell a Haunted House, and of course Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. This is also massive and it will probably take me a very, very long time to get through, but I'm sure I will enjoy every single one. Honestly, this is giving me Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children vibes, which is probably why I'll enjoy all of these even more. And the final two books I am going to show you in this video are Iron Flame by Rebecca Yaros. Now, this one came with a bit of damage, unfortunately, but still very happy to have received it and to be able to add this to my collection since I am soon done with Fort Wing. And I, of course, went ahead and bought Onyx Storm as well by the same author. So, yeah, I Will Not Die Today, I Will Save Him, and Violet Sorrengail's personal addendum to the Book of Brennan. So, yeah, those are all the books I received in the month of May. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Take a look at the rest because why not? They're absolutely amazing. And let me know which one I should read first. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.